Croeso nôl. Hello, welcome back. This is Flying Bridge Theatre, which loosely translates as Cwmni Theatr Pont Hedfan. Hedfan is to fly. We're a bilingual company from Wales, and I'm Tim Baker, co-artistic director of the company. We make theatre shows, but COVID-19 has closed theatre, putting many people out of work and nearly destroying our beloved industry. In response, Arts Council Wales have funded us to be innovative, to make theatre without stages, and their investment means that Welsh theatres have this material to live stream to their audiences at a time when their stages are sadly empty. To do this, I and the other co-artistic director of the company, Daniel LLewelyn-Williams, have created the Flying Bridge online repertory company. Dan and I write the scripts, and with our company, rehearse and record a new half-hour audio drama to be delivered to you each week. Did I mention that we're all working remotely from home? From across Wales, in our personal studios, all recording a live performance over the internet. We press record at the beginning and press stop at the end, so what you hear is as close to a straight-through theatre show as we can get, and we like it that way. Astrid Investigates comprises 21 episodes, each one a unique story featuring our heroine, Astrid Price, a female gumshoe detective in an alternative Wales of the near future. You've joined us for episode 3. Look out for the Welsh language episodes later this year. And if you're joining for the first time, don't worry, each episode stands alone. So Dan and I write the scripts, which were inspired by the short stories of Alan Roderick. I'll introduce the company before we go any further. Broadcasting from Swansea is Manon Eames. Manon plays Astrid, the hero of our story. Hi Manon. Shmai, can you introduce yourself and your character?
Yeah, of course. I'm Manon Eames, and I play Astrid Price, former World Cup winning rugby player turned private detective.
Diolch yn fawr, Manon. And live from Newport is the other actor, co-writer, co-artistic director, Daniel LLewelyn-Williams. Dan, is there anything else you can do, mate?
Yeah. Hi, Tim. Yes, I'm also the co-producer, by the way. Did I mention that?
You didn't mention that, but you're co-everything. Good. Of course, mustn't forget that. No pressure then. So which character do you play, Dan?
All of them, Tim. Except for Astrid. Small budget, you see. Needs must and all that.
And you take it in your stride, Dan. We also have Wills, our technician in Mold, North Wales. If we could afford a microphone for him, you'd hear him saying hello too. He's also a bit shy. And I am the director, Tim Baker, live from Rhythin. So let's kick off with episode 3 of Astrid Investigates. This episode is called Down by the Riverside.
It was dark, very dark in the alley. So dark, I had a job to see my own feet, or anybody else's own feet for that matter. It was also narrow, but I followed my prey further and further into the darkness. At this time of night it was rank. Every passing pisshead would deposit a pint of pee and think nothing of it. Since all the public toilets had been turned into high-end bakeries and boutiques, the alley was now the #1 public cesspit. In short, this dingy alley was not a pleasant place to be, and my wig was beginning to itch. The man in front of me stops and turns suddenly.
Hey, I can see you've been following me. You want a bit of this, Joe?
He turns and offers his half-sucked cigarette, but I suspect he's after a lot more. I play the part well. I think I'll pull out my finest Leinster twang for this one. Hello there. A little bird told me you were looking for a good time, fella.
Ha ha! My Irish princess! In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, eh? So what's your name, love?
I can be anyone you want me to be, sailor boy.
Molly Malone it is then. Come over here. These cockles and mussels are alive, ho!
In for a penny, in for a Glyndŵr, I thought. I'd already donned a blonde wig and squeezed into a latticework pastry-lid leotard. To be honest with you, I always thought of myself as the belle of Belfast City, but like I said, I can be accommodating. I slowly cutch up to him in the cramped alleyway.
I've been looking for a muse for a while. I'm a bit of an artist, you know.
I catch his breath, pilchards and whiskey. Oh, what a lucky private detective I am. I'd need to rely on all my years of training to keep my dinner down and my cover up. Good God alive, would you just smell that? It's enough to sex the clothes right off me bones. In truth, it was enough to give me a nosebleed.
She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. Come on, darling, come back to my place. I want to show you my collection of etchings.
To be sure, I'm not much of an art lover. I have to be honest with you.
I got plenty of cash.
He fans the Glyndwrs, then leans in for a leery kiss. There were many times I'd laid back and thought of Wales during my career as a private detective, all in the name of justice, of course. On the odd occasion, it was more pleasure than business, but not this time.
Perhaps we could do a still life together. Ha ha ha! Hey, darling!
He leans in further, his breath a combination of sweet corn and yew-bend. I do a bit of sick in my mouth. Perhaps we could go back to the bar for another drink, Foist.
Not likely. You tease. You ain't going anywhere till I've had my fill.
He pulls my hair back and leads with a tongue, his tobacco-stained moustache following shortly after. Just before contact, I think I see a glint of fish head poking out behind a molar. Oh, that's it. Done. I hit the emergency button.
Oh, bloody hell! Oh, what are you doing?
He sings the familiar tune of an assailant receiving the Tahitian twin bollock twist and jerk. If I squeeze hard enough, I wonder if I could get an A sharp out of him.
Jesus Christ! Oh, what are you... you're ripping me bloody balls off!
I drop the accent. I trained for 10 years in the Isthmus of Tarrafao to perfect this self-defence move, to get the grip, strength and angle of shear, just so I can have your best interests at heart. Chauncey McLaren.
How do you know my name? What do you want? Lego. Jeez.
Unless you pass me that piece of paper in your pocket, I'll perform the second part of this Tahitian twist and jerk. What do you say?
No, please, be careful. Oh, God, no!
No fast move, Chauncey. 1 degree in either direction, and you are a eunuch. He moves like a newborn foal, slowly, shakily reaching into his pocket. He pulls out that piece of paper I'd been waiting all night to find. I hoped to finger it without blowing my cover, but perhaps tonight wasn't the night for blowing and fingering. He had forced my hand, literally.
Yeah, you are. But you'll have to get low. Yeah, you'll have to let go of my balls first if you want to.
He had a point. The Tahitian twist and jerk was a two-handed operation. How could I take the piece of paper while keeping him subdued? Perhaps I should have gone one-handed, the Peruvian palm roller course. Damn my hastiness. That was 10 years of training wasted. Never mind, we were where we were.
Oh, please, don't do anything stupid. I'm a protected man. You'll be sorry.
The criminal underworld of cast now with don't scare me, Chauncey.
Fine. But what do you want it for?
Hand it over.
Who are you working for?
I don't like being interrogated, especially by my interrogatee. I'm the interrogator after all. Drop it.
Never. You ain't getting hold of this, missy.
It's Ms. Paper. Now. Oh, enough of this. I couldn't risk blowing my cover further. I deal him a swift Llanelli kiss. Woof! And the negotiating is over. As I step over his crumpled unconscious body, I pluck the note from his pocket and read 264-324-5, 215-775-615, 857-181-9. What the hell are these? Lottery numbers? Safety deposit box codes? Map coordinates? I make my way back to my trusty yellow Gilburn. Only the sound of a late-night train and its lonely hooter breaks the silence. This is an area of the city, the Riverside, which I do not willingly spend time in. Dilapidated buildings, cracks in the pavements, shit and piss everywhere, shops boarded up. To me, the graffiti is okay, a shrieking expression of aerosol angst. What I can't escape is the despair on the faces of people. It all conspires to depress the hell out of me. Luckily, My Gilburn is still parked where I left it. I check it over. I like to drive a car with all its four wheels still on. I open the door and slide into the front seat. I switch on Giri, the Gilburn Intelligence Robotic Investigator, and feed the handwritten note into the scanner. Giri, run these numbers and tell me what they mean.
Hello. Would you like to send a text message to Brian?
No, Giri, I would not like to send a fucking text message to Brian.
That's not very pleasant.
Giri, numbers now.
Thank you. Beep. These are landline telephone numbers relating to the telephone boxes within the geographical boundaries of the Riverside ward of Casnewydd.
Thank you, Giri.
You are welcome. Would you like to send a text message to Brian?
No!
Well, that's not very pleasant.
Crash! Rip! As I sit there in the Gilburn, clutching the wiry remnants of Giri's mainframe in my oily fist, I find myself deep in contemplation. If these are telephone box numbers, what's their relevance? Damn, and 3 times damn. Maybe I should have endured the fish heads and got some info out of Chansey in the bedroom. Maybe I should have interrogated him instead of headbutting him. Maybe I could disguise myself as a different prostitute and question him further. It was all maybes, and a few perhapses thrown in for good luck. Perhaps Gloria Honeypot, the mayor's secretary, was nothing to do with this conspiracy. Perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself. I decide to rewind a little, begin at the beginning again. I'd started working the case only that day. My morning had begun with a start, one of my famous dreams again.
Astrid, wake up, girl, wake up!
What? Whoa, blinking heck, ma'am. Was I asleep?
Yes, love, you was, throwing your legs round like a drunken spider and all. That rugby dream again, was it?
Yes, ma'am, just before I kicked the drop goal.
Ooh, that was a glorious day, Cariad.
Yeah, ma'am. Anyway.
I still can't believe you won the World Cup, you know. Oh, busting with pride I was.
Yeah, ma'am, but that was 10 years ago.
No, really? Feels like 11. So, what happened in your fortune-telling dream this time?
So, just as I'm about to kick the drop goal...
Somebody tackles you, I know. Who was it this time? Tafia? Politicians? Actors?
No, ma'am. None of the above. You'll never guess.
Ooh, the suspension is killing me. Who was it? I mean, save yourself a time investigating. Ooh, you knows who it is, so you might as well just go and lock him up right now.
You are not going to believe this. Instead of a person coming to tackle me, it was a... I don't know how to say this, ma'am. It was a...
Oh, you're keeping me on tender lines, you are.
Massive can of spray paint.
What?
A can of spray paint. I don't understand it. What can that mean, ma'am?
You were telling me that instead of telling the future, you're dreaming about hardware supplies now.
I know anything can happen in dreams, ma'am, but a can of spray paint performing an illegal spear tackle and not a yellow card in sight, I can't fathom what that means.
Well, we'll learn now in a minute. If that fella from the Diplomatic Service phones bets on you are still clairvoyant.
Ma'am, as they say, one swallow does not an orgy make.
Ooh, there you are. There's your phone. Go on, answer it, girl. Answer it.
Hello? Astrid Price, private investigator.
Astrid, how in the name of Cymru are you?
Ma'am was right. It was my associate and aspiring lover, Peter Jennings.
Is it him? Is it him?
Yes, ma'am. Shush. I'm very well, thank you, Jenny.
That's what I like to hear, Astrid.
He had a thing for me, and I for him, but I like to keep business and pleasure shaken, not stirred. So, Jenny, what's going down at MI6? Can I be of assistance?
Yes, actually, something big. It's a civil issue in your neck of the woods, with potential repercussions on a national level, and there's a suspicion of foul play. Sabotage in the local economy. Right up your blind alley. Perhaps you could lend your magnifying glass to the cause?
Anything for the Independent Republic of Cymru.
Jolly good. I knew you'd be my girl.
Woman, Jenny. I'm a woman, and I'm not yours, but maybe we can make time for flirting later.
Certainly, yes. Anyway, the mayoress of Casnewydd will brief you. She's expecting you this morning at City Hall.
I'm on it.
Toodle pip. Oh, Astrid.
Yes, Jenny?
When exactly might we have time for flirting later? Dinner?
There are only 2 things I never make love on, Jenny. An empty stomach, an unsolved case, and a bearskin rug. Damn it. There are only 3 things I never make love on, Jenny. An empty stomach, an unsolved case, a bearskin rug and a rabbit-shaped jelly mould. There are 4 things I never make love on, Jenny. Am I making myself clear?
Perfectly. In that case, a Louis XV chaise longue should be fine.
If you keep your diary clear tonight, Jenny, and I solve this case, I'll be hungry. Hungry enough to eat an English diplomat.
Golly. Right you are, Astrid. I'll make sure I wash my salad. I was thinking perhaps some roast quail and a little...
Beep! I put the phone down before it gets awkward. Mam's in my ear again.
So, Astrid, what I'm wondering is, what's this spray paint have to do with things? It's a real condominium if ever there was one.
Conundrum, Mam. I don't know yet. Just give me a second, will you? I knew all would come clear in time. In the meantime, I had to get to the mayoral chambers in good time, find out what all this was about. As I'm about to leave, there's a knock on the bedsit door. Knock, knock. Creak.
Hi, Astrid, Mrs. B. How you both today, innit?
Stakis Theodorakis was our landlord. My mam and me had been renting our bedsit above his chip shop, the Lion Cod, for a few years. Mam had a soft spot for him.
Very well, Stakis, thank you for asking. How are things with you, darling?
Oh, not so good, innit? Bloody kids spray the wall opposite the shop again.
Nevi, what have they painted this time?
Well, I don't like to say in front of the ladies. How you say? Private parts?
Oh, come on, Stakis. We've both seen the world, innit, Mam?
Not enough of it, mind.
So talk turkey, Mam.
Turkey? I from Thessalonica.
Speak plain, will you?
All right. Big cock and balls. Awful, innit?
You mean it's an awful drawing?
No, the drawing is very good, very lifelike. But you think I want to stand and stare at Big Dick all day while I serving saveloys?
Oh, well, I could put in a couple of hours behind the counter if you like.
No, thank you, Mrs. P. But it has to go. Hey, I just love to spend my precious time eradicating anonymous genitalia, innit? If I could just catch those kids.
Tell you what, Stakis, I'll come and help you rub it off.
Ah, yes, please. A helping hand job. Thank you.
No, that's a different thing, Stakis.
Thank you, Mrs. P. I make it worth your while with the pineapple fritter, eh?
Ooh, you charmer.
These kind of things, they make our area look run down. Gotta have pride in where we live, innit? Anyway, see you downstairs.
Creak. Slam. Stakis and Mam were a right pair. But he was great for Mam. Since Dad left us, she'd been lost, but at least now I get to see her smile again. Fast forward to the mayoral chambers, grand and opulent with antiques and paintings. There was a large, ornate coat of arms on the wall. I particularly liked the Welsh dragon rampant, breathing fire and brimstone upon a rapidly retreating St. George. I was still admiring the coat of arms when the mayoress came in. She were not quite antique herself, but getting on in years, with grey-flecked hair and a strawberry birthmark on the right-hand side of her face.
Mrs. Price, thank you for your time. Do sit down.
You were welcome, but as Ms, by the way, Lady Mayoress.
I do apologise, Ms. Price, and if you don't mind, I prefer the title of Mayor.
Not at all.
I have a no-boxes policy in my life, you see.
That was usually my line. I liked her more with every passing second.
Astrid. May I call you Astrid?
Certainly.
Thank you. Astrid, the city of Casnewydd needs you. You come highly recommended. Mr. Peter Jennings was most effusive in his praise on your behalf.
Ah, Peter, one of my best friends in high places. That's very kind of him to say so.
Of course, your exploits on the rugby field are well known, as indeed is your flying of the Welsh flag in the last Winter Olympics but one.
I beamed inwardly. Lots of people remember me as a rugby player, but for some reason they tend to overlook my time spent piloting Team Wales's 2-woman bobsleigh. That's the Welsh all over, I suppose. If there are no balls involved, they're not really interested. Gosh, there's a theme to this whole day, I think to myself.
Astrid, there are forces at work trying to undermine all the good things we are doing in and for the city.
In what way?
Well, if I can speak plainly, this beautiful city is becoming a shithole. We're also hearing stories of intimidation and small-scale arson. It feels like calculated sabotage. As you know, the NATO summit is coming to Casnewydd in 3 months. We're going to look like the laughing stock when the eyes of the world are on us.
Let me guess, the worst place is Glanarvon.
Spot on.
Glanarvon, or the Riverside as they call it in English, once prosperous, built on the riches of shipping and coal, now a pale shadow of its former self.
Yes. Hardly a day goes by without the local paper headlining some incident or other. It's the worst place in the IRC to live, according to surveys.
Hang on. If this is calculated sabotage, as you say, shouldn't this be a matter for the Headley?
The Welsh police? No. They're too busy giving out speeding tickets, apparently. Will you help us?
If I can, I will. Have you got a file on all this stuff?
My secretary, Gloria Honeypot, will fill you in with all the details. And now I must beg your forgiveness. A mayoral function awaits.
And with a swish of her robes, she's gone. Just then, a secretary comes in and hands me a file as thick as a tight-head prop forward.
Hello, I'm Gloria Honeypot, the mayor's secretary.
She had a voice like warm beef dripping, smeared over a Cuban cigar, and from what I know of secretaries, she didn't look like the conventional one. More like a candidate for Miss Wales, if a misogynistic institution like that still existed. I wouldn't necessarily say she was busty, as much as llawn fel pellenau, or full as an orchard, in the language of heaven, of course. And that perfume she's wearing is so attractive I want to rub my face in it, like a dog in fox poo. I wonder where she buys her fragrance.
Here's the Glanarvon fire. I can't see what you'll be able to do. We've been trying to clean the place up for years.
She drops the file in my lap, turns her heels, and like that she's gone with a flick of her lemon-yellow hair and a whiff of intoxicating fragrance. I return to my bedsit. Mam's downstairs with Stackis scrubbing the phallus off the wall. The flat is empty. Good job, as I have to get Gloria out of my mind. 10 minutes later, I wash my hands and my head is back in the case. I search the dossier cover to cover, but there's nothing pointing to a singular mastermind. The issue of graffiti seems really prominent. I briefly reflect on the coincidence of this and the graffiti todger on the wall downstairs, and then my mind wanders to the spray can in my dreams. I shrug it off. Coincidence happens in dreams. Wait, am I in a dream now? No, my spray can dream was calling me. Its meaning was, that's it. This is all about the second Chartist mural. After the first one was torn down to everyone's dismay by the City Council in the name of progress, world-famous graffiti artist Wanksy illegally sprayed an enormous 70-foot abstract version of it in its place, this one also depicting the historic moment the British Army opened fire on the Chartists. One act of vandalism deserves another was Wanksy's famous statement about his illegal masterpiece. 10 minutes later, and I'm stood in front of the huge mural. Feel the energy in the air around me. It's time for my Dai Chi salutations. As I open my chakra and flex into the stone circle pose, I feel at one with the energies around me, at one with the Chartists and their cause, at one with Wanksy and his campaign for social justice, at one with the mayor and her ambitions for the city, and then, like a divining rod, I feel a compelling urge to walk in a south-southeasterly direction. I reach the Riverside district, but then I'm following that scent of perfume like a randy bloodhound. My nose leads me on and I follow. Suddenly, I see a familiar shape in the lemon-yellow hair of Gloria Honeypot. She walks out of a phone box, writing on a piece of paper. I feel an urge to follow her. She walks straight into the Whinging Cat, the dodgiest pub in Casnewydd. Why would she go in there? What would a classy woman like her be doing in that awful place? The Whinging Cat is the city's epicentre of crime and debauchery. Well, I don't mind a bit of debauchery myself, but crime? Never. I jump into the nearest phone box myself for a lightning-quick persona change. 2 seconds later, I'm an Irish hooker, complete with lippy legs and leotard. Oh, mustn't forget the blonde wig. There we are. In I go. Ding-a-ling! The inside of the Whinging Cat is worse than the outside. Paint flecking off the walls, puke on the ceiling, the usual. At the back of the pub by the pool table, I see Gloria Honeypot in all her radiant perfection, talking to a man. I recognise him. He's only the city's most notorious petty criminal, Chancey McLaren. There is something so peculiar about this picture. She is so out of place here, like a dick on a fish. What is going on? I keep my head down and channel my inner Dublin Bay prostitute, but not before I witness a landmark moment. Gloria covertly handing Chansey a handwritten note. Only the very handwritten note she was brazenly handwriting at the phone box just a few moments earlier. I know I'm onto something sinister. Gloria leaves, and I resist the urge to follow, even though her scent pulls me from the inside out. I turn my attentions to Chansey, and that's where this story begins. Following him into the urine-soaked alley, or is that where it ends? I don't know, I'm starting to lose track of timelines a little. Anyway, I give him a Tahitian twist and jerk, and the rest is history.
Hey, Astrid, wake up, girl.
What? Whoa! Ma'am, was I asleep?
Yes, love, you was. Throwing your legs round like a drunken spider and all. That rugby dream again, was it?
Yes, ma'am, just before I kick the drop goal. Hang on, I think to myself, is this a dream within a dream? Like, haven't I been here before or something?
Ooh, that was a glorious day, Cariad.
That's what she said last time. Hang on, what last time?
I still can't believe you won the World Cup, you know. Oh, busting with pride I was.
Well, we've definitely had this conversation before. Now I say something about it happening 10 years ago.
No, really? Feels like 11. So, what happened in your fortune-telling dream this time?
This is freaking me out now. It feels like she isn't even listening to me.
Just as you're about to kick the drop goal, somebody tackles you, I know. Who was it this time? Tafia, politicians, actors?
I realise what's happening. It's not a dream within a dream. I'm having a reality within a reality. This must be something to do with my clairvoyance short-circuiting. I have to learn how to steer this ship. Knock, knock. Creak. Stakis has arrived.
Hey, Mrs. P. Astrid, how you both today, innit?
Very well, Stakis. How are you, love?
This is deja vu on a colossal scale.
Oh, not so good, innit? Bloody kids spray the wall opposite the shop again.
Nevi, what have they painted this time?
I can't hold it in anymore.
Well, I don't like to say in front of the ladies.
Stop! Just bloody stop, will you? I tell you what it is, Stakis. It's a big cock and balls, innit?
How you know that?
Look, both of you, I know you won't understand this, but I'm reliving this day over and over again. It's like that movie with Bill Flurry and the woodchuck.
Groundnut Day?
No, the other one, the one with the squirrel.
Oh yeah, with Johnny Depp, saving Pirate Ryan.
That's the one. No. Oh, anyway, ma'am, love you, gotta go again. Big job on, no time to lose.
Go on, I trust you. Go and save the world, my little jibbon.
What time is it? It's still morning. I haven't even met the mayor yet, so that means I haven't yet met Gloria Honeypot either. And does that mean, do I not yet know anything about the numbers on the piece of paper? God, this is so confusing. If I can just find out the relevance of that note that Gloria passes to Chansey at the Whinging Cat later this evening, I can break the back of this case. I run down to the chartist mural again, or maybe for the first time, I've no fucking idea, I'm just going with the flow. I dive into another Tai Chi pose and my psychic powers kick up to the next level. Suddenly, I'm like Google Earth, zooming into any place I want. Faces, people going to and fro, the sad, lonely, lost faces of Glanarvon. Then, a whiff, a scent, a flash of lemon yellow. There she is. I'm in time. It's Gloria Honeypot. Unbeknownst to her, and high in the sky, I follow. She leads me to a house. Is it her house? It doesn't look like how I'd imagined her house to be. It's a fucking mansion. I'm in Google Street View now. Gloria is at the door. Ding dong. Creak. And a man opens it. Is this the missing link? I recognise Arwel Arian, the multi-millionaire financier, one of the richest men in the IRC. Arwel Arian owns most of the property in the city and is rumoured to want to get his hands on the rest. He's renowned for keeping his tenants in squalor, being stinking rich and absurdly eccentric. His most famous foible is refusing to use any electromagnetic device, an allergy apparently. The upshot of that, he basically lives like a wealthy potato. In my exalted position, hovering above them, I'm both there and not there at the same time, like Schrödinger's dog. Or is it Pavlov's cat? I don't know. Perhaps it's Einstein's parrot. Anyway, who cares about their pets? Suddenly, I can bend physics and get nanoseconds ahead of time, just enough to know what these two are going to say before they say it. If this is another dream, it's brilliant. He's going to say, "Good afternoon, Gloria. Did somebody follow you?"
Good afternoon, Gloria. Did somebody follow you?
And Gloria replies, no, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Then she says, I have some news from City Hall.
I have some news from City Hall.
Great, do tell.
Great. Do tell.
I will. The mayor has stepped up her efforts to thwart our campaign. She has engaged a private dick.
A private dick?
Yes, a private detective, Astrid Price.
What? The rugby player? Right, Gloria. You must warn Chauncey immediately. And look, we can't just stand here on the doorstep talking about our evil plans openly and freely. That'll just give the plot away.
Hey, am I not going to get the bill speened? I mean the beans spilled? Ah, I thought I was in control here. How many times have I eavesdropped on dodgy characters in my cases and they've never squealed? Wouldn't it be nice if just for once they could reveal all? Hang on. Whose dream is this anyway? It's mine. This time I'm in control.
On the other hand, we could just recap our entire dastardly plan in an unusually frank and carefree manner here on the doorstep where anybody could listen. Let's just throw Chance to the wind, eh?
Yes, I am the epicentre of this world.
I mean, personally, I feel that I've come into this story a bit late and in a rather contrived way. I feel like a functionary in a plot rather than a rounded character with a backstory. I mean, why the hell am I Afrikaans? I mean, that's just bloody lazy script writing, eh? Just because I'm a baddie, what is this, the 80s? Anyway, might as well get on the front foot and reveal the whole plot, eh? Ha ha!
It's my dream. It's a dream come true.
Is it wise, Ariane, to talk out here like this in the street?
No idea. That's what it said here in the script. It is so passé, don't you think? Sorry, back to it. So, the NATO summit is coming to town in 3 months, and we need to ensure Casnewith is painted in the worst light possible when the eyes of the world are on the city. Then prices slump everywhere, and I can snap up real estate for a song.
As the dyslexic philosopher says, there is a dog.
Chauncey is my main civic pride wrecker, but I can only speak to him through landlines due to my anti-electromagnetic condition, which, to be honest, is an incredibly contrived device to enrich the plot, but I'm only an actor, eh? Speaking these words and trying to make them sound convincing. Fuck this Afrikaans accent. God, the things we do to save the scriptwriter's bacon. I mean, think about it. I'm from Birmingham, and the way things are going, this will probably be the last job I'll ever get where I'm not using a bloody Birmingham accent. Anyway, back to the plot in this crappy Afrikaans accent. I'm sure that if this were to be the basis of a, detective story, for instance, then nobody would believe this bloody rubbish.
I agree with you totally, and I'll be calling Equity straight away. Anyway, Mr. Ariane, I must dash. I need to warn Chauncey that you've just let the entire plot out the bag, and as if in a dream, Astrid is probably listening to our entire conversation, and she'll take it as a confession, because if we consider that her clinically photographic memory is admissible as evidence, as of course everyone knows, this is pretty much the end of the road for us.
Hey, I've only said what it says in the script. Hey, come back!
And with a swish of her lemon yellow hair, she's gone. I pull back to my reality, or at least to one of my realities.
Astrid, wake up, girl, wake up.
What? Whoa, oh, whoa, ma'am, blinking heck, was I asleep?
Yes, love, you was. Throwing your legs round like a drunken spider and all. That rugby dream again, was it?
Here we go.
Oh, that was a glorious day, Cariad. I still can't believe you won the World Cup. You know, busting with pride I was.
Ma'am, you were like a broken record, didn't you?
No, really? Feels like 11. Sorry, love, your fortune-telling, James. Go on. Who was it tackled you this time? Tafia, politicians, actors? Oh, the suspension is killing me. Who was it? I mean, you knows who it is, so you might as well just go and lock him up right now. Save yourself a time investigating.
I gotta get down to the whinging cat straight away, ma'am. Again. Or is it for the first time? I run down the stairs just as Starkis is coming in. I sprint past the half-rubbed-out dung on the wall and get to the Gilburn. I've got to get to the whinging cat without wasting a moment. I arrive at the filthy pub just in time to see Gloria pass Chauncey the handwritten note with the phone numbers. In a flash, my handcuffs latch around the two of their wrists. They flicker, look at me, and both immediately flail and duck and swivel. The headley men I brought with me into the pub as backup take down Chauncey. I turn my attentions to Gloria Honeypot, who stabs at me. She's holding a stiletto dagger. With the outside of my right palm, I wave a weapon across my face and transfer my weight out to the line of attack. My hand rotates and fixes round her wrist, and with a downward jerk and then an upward stroke of my free hand, I twist her body like a pretzel, lowering us both down to the floor in a controlled spiral. I had trained for 20 years with the Shaolin to make this second nature. There's more to this manoeuvre, but the scriptwriters are approaching their allotted 6,500 words. There's just time for me to remember the one glorious, unsolved mystery of Gloria Honeypot. I look down into her beautiful face, her body bent over my knee in agony as I hold her locked in the very palms of my hand, and I ask her the question I've been dying to ask her all day. So, Gloria, tell me, where did you get that beautiful fragrance?
Cymru bargains.
Oh, really? Thank you. As I watch her and Chancey being led away, I suddenly think, hang on, I've solved the case, but I haven't yet been in the piss-soaked alley with Chancey holding his tackle. If that doesn't happen, how can I know about the numbers? Does any of this really happen? Oh, well, I must have dreamt it. Or it must have been in an earlier draft and one of the writers accidentally left it in.
Astrid, wake up, girl, wake up.
What? Whoa, oh, was I asleep, Mum?
Yes, it's that man, Peter, on the phone for you. Yeah.
Hello?
Astrid, how are you? I have a little assignment for you.
Not now, Peter. I'm in the middle of a dream.
Thank you, everybody. That was Down by the River, episode 3 of Astrid Investigates by Flying Bridge Online Repertory Company. Thank you to Dan, Manon and Wills, our technician. Can I also give a big shout out to Jamie Rees, our marketing and distribution director. He coordinated that fabulous animated trailer you may have seen on the web, animated by Treetop Films. Dan, Manon, you must be exhausted, guys, but well done.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah. Do you mind if I shoot off, by the way, because I got to pick up my son from swimming?
Not at all, Dan. Off you go. Manon, llongyfarchiadau. Congratulations again.
Diolch, Tim. I enjoyed that one.
Great. I'm just going to let the audience know that episode 4 will be coming shortly. If you're listening to the live stream, it'll be available next Thursday. And if you've purchased this off a digital platform, then episode 4 will be available at the same place. Look out for the entire first series, which will be available to purchase for a discounted rate after October the 29th, 2020. Finally, if you're interested to see how we make this show, there'll be a film documentary available shortly that'll give you behind-the-scenes visuals. We'll also be doing a live question and answer session soon, where we will invite individuals to join us on Zoom to ask us questions about the series, etc. So for info on those things and more, please go to our website, www.flyingbridgetheatre.co.uk, and like our Facebook page, Flying Bridge Theatre. This has been a Flying Bridge Theatre production in conjunction with Jamie Rees at Theatre Jam and Arts Council Wales. I've been Tim Baker, and as usual always am. Thank you, goodbye, nostar, diolch yn fawr iawn.